Thank you.
Alright, 10 o'clock.
We're back.
Alright, back from recess, back on the record.
Yes.
So, see Prosecutor Votel is here, and Prosecutor West.
Yeah, Katie West. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for putting me on your agenda this morning. I thought I would be remiss if I didn't get on the agenda to congratulate the new board and the new commissioners. Congratulations to you both. I look forward to working with you and number three when number three gets appointed. I thought it was important to sort of speak with the board publicly about the relationship between the board and the Office of the Prosecuting Attorney. Obviously, the Office of the Prosecuting Attorney is your legal counsel. I personally will be the attorney for this board, at least in the early going of the new board. And so I would ask that most of your formal communications go directly through me, and then if I see fit, I can sub out work to other attorneys in our office. Sometimes, because we do have an open door policy, people will just pick up the phone and talk to whoever is available, and I find that kind of creates a little bit of confusion in terms of I was not aware that somebody spoke to somebody or what people said, etc. So I'll be your attorney in the early going. I think each of the commissioners has a 3-ring binder that my office prepared, sort of hitting the highlights of the duties of the commission and the statutes which control those various responsibilities. And, you know, essentially, as the book says, this board's a creature of statute, and by and large, if there's not a statute that says you can do it, then you can't. And so that's really where the legal advice comes in, as to whether or not you have the authority to do what you'd like to do, things of that nature. In requesting opinions from my office, I would ask that the board pass resolutions formally asking an opinion on any given topic. And that sort of prevents some confusion in terms of informal phone calls, and then you're uncertain whether it's just one commissioner who's interested in something or the board wants something. So Julie can just email me the resolution asking for a written opinion, and then that written opinion will be delivered to this office formally under seal. As you're aware, as your attorney, any formal request for legal advice is protected by the attorney-client privilege, meaning it is per se not a public record until that privilege is waived. That privilege belongs not to me, it belongs to the board. And so no member of the board is authorized to share any written opinion, either the written opinion itself or the contents of the written opinion, unless the board as a body waives that attorney-client privilege and decides to make that advice public. When it comes to, there are so many issues that may come up. I mean, you know, 5 years ago, the idea that we'd be talking about sewer districts and solar power and things of that nature were unforeseeable. There are so many things that can come up. When it comes to the Office of the Prosecuting Attorney, the ethics that regulate the profession of attorneys are that we are permitted to handle any legal matter that we feel we can competently handle, or that we can become competent in short order. If there are matters that come up that are outside the ken of our expertise, etc., there may be times when outside counsel is warranted, and this board itself can make decisions about whether outside counsel should be requested, or conversely, I can make a recommendation that outside counsel should be consulted with any given topic, depending on the complexity of it and whether or not the attorneys in my office can become competent on it. So, and that's kind of what happened in the solar realm. That's an issue of first impression. It's involving federal law, administrative law, things of first impression. The prior board determined to seek outside counsel. That's an example of that. That should be rare, however. When it comes to the advice administered by this office, I feel that we are sort of like a physician. You know, I can advise you to quit smoking, and you can do that or not do that. That's your decision. This commission is the policy-making body. Whether something's good for the people of Preble County and should be pursued or not is the full purview of this board. The Office of the Prosecuting Attorney never takes a position pro or con when it comes to matters of policy. Our role is to advise this board, can you do it? And if so, how should you do it best legally? But whether or not things should be done, those policy decisions are completely within the purview of the board, and I'm very vigilant in drawing that distinction when providing advice to the board. When it comes to that advice, as I said, you can accept it or reject it. That is within your purview. However, it's been a long-standing policy of this office, I believe started by my predecessor, Becky Ferguson, and continued by myself these past 15 years, that if the board rejects or fails to follow legal advice and there is a legal ramification that results from that, then speaking of outside counsel, the board needs to hire outside counsel to negotiate through that consequence. And I think that's a sound matter of policy. You are free to accept the advice or reject it, but if you reject it and there's a consequence, then it seems to me that outside counsel to handle that matter is advisable. Any questions about any of that?
No.
Okay. So moving on from those basic sort of bird's eye view level in terms of my philosophy on our relationship and things of that nature, there are some ongoing issues. The only one really that we've been working on or that I've spoken informally about is the Preble County Heart Center, and that research into that idea and getting that paperwork together and things of that nature are ongoing with Katie. Katie's looking into dotting the i's and crossing the t's on that right now, so I have nothing formal to report to the board on that this morning, but in short order will, and I'll be sending a request to Julie to be put back on the agenda. I presume the board wishes to move quickly in making a decision on that property, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll be requesting from Julie to be put on the agenda as soon as we're ready to formally advise.
Okay.
And then, of course, executive session may be appropriate when it comes to talking about those issues, given that it's involves alienation of property rights owned by the county. Are there any other specific issues that the board wishes to discuss of record this morning that I can help you with at this time? I know I did get a request on Sewer District 6 or a question whether that would be addressed this morning. The answer is no. Eric Merritt in my office has been the point person on Sewer District 6 since its inception 5 years ago. He has asked to be put on the agenda to specifically deal with the board on that issue. I'll be accompanying him during that meeting, and we can talk about that. I think that'll be within the next week.
Okay.
Yes, I did send him the date, so we will.
Very good,
Yes.
okay. Anything else we need to talk about?
Anything?
Very good.
Not this time.
Not at this time.
Well, that's great. Again, I look forward to working with you both. We do have an open door policy. Anytime, call me on my cell phone, call me on my work phone, stop by. After hours is never a problem. Look forward to the good work we're gonna do.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So at this point, do you have anything additional to work in before we get to the bid openings?
Well, I think we will, do you still want a motion for a direction on this, or do you wanna just wait for him?
That is completely up to you, if you want to go ahead and make the motion, put it on record, and then I can get with him, we can work out the details on that, that is completely solely up to you, if you'd like me to start working with him. Basically, I just need a direction of where you guys want me to start, so I wrote the motion out for you to begin that process if you would like, it would be a very normal to do
I
that.
think, I know for me, I think we would be remiss.
No, we are talking about the art association.
We are
correct?
talking about the art association, correct. We would be remiss if we didn't just take the advice that he's giving us to go ahead and move forward. I would like to see us make the motion. If we can. how Rachel feels about that.
Well, with what Marty just delivered, I would like to maybe wait till they come back to us and then present to us.
Okay, now will that, will it be easier for you as our office to move forward if we have a motion on the record with Marty's office?
I think in the end, it'll make it very clear, if you do make a motion, however way you guys want to go, or you can just give me a directive to begin, working with Marty to draw up, an opinion for you guys more formally. But I do believe you guys do have those legal opinions, and if you guys do have an emotion and you would like to start a process, putting that motion on the floor does start that process. But again, that is totally up to you guys how you want to handle this.
I will be okay making that motion, to go ahead and do that. If you're okay with it, that way she can just move full steam ahead. So I will make a motion to place county-owned property located at 601 Hillcrest Drive, Eaton, Ohio, out to public bid.
And I'll second. Call the roll. Any further discussion?
I think we've had, we've kicked this can about as far as we can kick it, so we move on one way or the other. That would be my only discussion.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Kraft?
Yes,
Commissioner Vonderhaar?
Yes.
and then you can get with him and let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, this will be, journalized in as well, and then, if you guys are okay, then I will start working with him on getting a bid packet put together, and getting the legal statute of how to formulate that and get that going.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That's great, I appreciate it, thank you. All right.
He was a lot shorter than what I thought he would be.
Yeah.
I will note that, he did bring up about sewer District 6, and Eric Merritt did send an email, I don't know if you guys had seen it, I think Rachel, you did see it. He did ask for several dates, and I did throw, 3 or 4 different dates out to him. I haven't heard back yet this morning whether he's choosing to still go with January. I think he is wanting to do sometime in January, but we did throw out 3 different dates, excluding, for your time. So just so where we are moving forward with that, and then he will come in, like Marty said, for that, so we are moving it forward. I did reschedule your guys' OSU Extension Office, meeting for Monday. That'll be for this coming Monday on the 11th. We are going to try something a little different. We're gonna try to do Microsoft Teams. Christy, in here, we've been working on getting Microsoft Teams to be able to view in here.
Mhm.
So Christy's gonna be our guinea pig. She's gonna work with me on getting that situated. If not, the backup will be a Zoom, and if we still can't get that to work, then we'll switch to a conference call. But just to keep you guys aware, we are moving with that.
What caused the problem? Was it just cell service, bad cell service?
She isn't very for sure. She said she's never really had that problem. And you never really know. It's technology. It could have been the simplest little thing. But she said that it kept dropping on her end. But I tested it several times later that day in here, and it still worked. So she's not for sure. But
Good deal.
Yes.
Anything else that we have, or do you have anything else for us?
I'm actually not. Kind of bombarded you with a lot of agreements today. So unless if you guys have anything else, you want to recess until 11.
Would you like to recess to 11 then?
Yeah, when we typically meet with the sheriff and his office and kind of figure out.
You, typically he comes in, they do like a quarterly, if you guys can do a quarterly jail tour. He usually only comes in as you guys request him. Obviously he's a busy man.
Yeah.
So really he comes in when you guys want, but if you guys want, we can move forward, with maybe just doing, for a few months, a monthly meeting, see if that works with him, we can do that.
I'd love to.
And we can also just go ahead and ask him if he's comfortable, with doing a quarterly, like doing a jail tour. There for a while, we were not doing those, so that I could ask him if he's okay with allowing a tour. I don't know if you, I know Adam, you've been over there, but I don't know if you've
I've
toured it as well, so it's up to you if you guys wanna do the tour, if you would just want him to come in and just formally have a meeting with him.
I think we can hold off for me on the tour
I'm fine. I've already
until,
been through.
until all this crap dies down a little bit more. Maybe in the summertime or something, I don't know.
So I can't ask him for the next at least, 2 or 3 months, just to keep you guys abroad of what's going on out there, because I didn't, he has quite a few different projects going on. If he can at least come in once monthly, just to kind of keep you guys up to par for the first month or two, if that's okay?
It would be nice, for the other elected officials and, leaders in the county, if they would give us some FaceTime just to get comfortable and, get to know each other better.
I do know that I do have, meetings scheduled with you, obviously with JFS, your monthly meeting, your EMA has already been scheduled, Levon has been scheduled for her monthly meeting. I did reach out to CBB, but I have not heard anything back for their quarterly, so I'll try to reach out to Stephanie again, and just see where she wants to go, but other than the sheriff, so I just need direction if you guys wanted to visit with him or not. And I know landfill will be here next Monday, to discuss anything for their monthly.
Okay.
So unless there's anybody else other.
And then
like to-
when can we have an update from Bob, kind of where he's at?
I can get with him and schedule something in. I know he was gonna prepare a list of, different things that he'd like to put on your radar, moving forward when it comes to, and you guys will have your list and kind of converse. So I will get with him, I know he does have some vacation coming up, but I will schedule with him and see when we can get him in and get
Yeah,
that.
we do it after his vacation, if you like, yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll get him scheduled in.
Okay, that'd be great, and then so we can back, just trying to think of everybody, don't wanna miss anybody.
Maybe for the most part, it's a routine thing, so I think I've gotten majority of everybody's scheduled, the sheriff is gonna, but I didn't know what you guys wanted to do. Like I said, he's not usually one who has a routine meeting, but just, like you said, for a welcoming type, up-to-date thing.
Yeah.
So I will get with him and get something scheduled.
Yeah, we kinda wanna talk to him about his needs going forward for 2021 and, beyond, so, everything else. Have they, given you an update for the generator? Have they got that completely installed yet, and what,
No, I've not heard, I did talk to Sarah the other day, she did send like a pre-app up for that, which I did leave a message for her about that, but I do not know, if they have, where they are on that. So if one of you would maybe want to reach out to him and just see where we are.
I'll send you a text message if you want.
Okay, that'd be great.
That's fine, and I just wanted to see where they're at status-wise on it.
I know that it had been, they were placing the order,
Yeah, well, that's the thing, they're back.
everything's backed up.
Yeah, I didn't know if they'd even started yet or not.
See, I
Any
know
other,
with the, even with the monitor probes for the landfill wells, they were a little backed up. I know they've done a lot on the front end, to have those installed, but the monitors themselves were backed up, or just a bit on that, so hopefully the next 2 weeks for the monitors.
okay, and then just for the handicap ramp, did we get that figured out as far as purchasing the material and?
The handicap ramp, Bob, I spoke to him yesterday, and he was actually going to call the gentleman himself, and just kind of see what would be easier. We were kind of looking at the fact that he would just give us a list of what he actually wanted, because as a county, you can't pay for something until you have the service, because what if they don't? Not that they would, but Bob was actually gonna reach to him and just say, would it be easier if I buy, the county go ahead and buy the materials, and then we can just do the labor, if that makes it easier, just make it cleaner cut that way.
Yeah.
So Bob was gonna reach out to him and kind of find out what he actually needed, material wise.
Okay. And then we can just go ahead and get it from one of our vendors.
Correct. Which would actually work out great too, if you wouldn't have that tax, or anything like that, so Bob has a lot of vendors that work with us very well, so it'd be a little, not to do it that way.
Yeah, that would be the way to go on that one. What else do I wanna ask about? I think that's the last one. I might sit here and think about it. That's the last one I had.
We have multiple meetings coming up.
Yeah.
Lots of
I remember.
opportunities.